Return us to Robert. Robert to Monroe. Monroe out here to Gilbert. Gilbert spikes it down into the deep corner. That's in. So the Bulldogs strike first. Randalise comes into the game now for Vondel. Heiser up to Laturnus. Laturnus to Helene. Helene spikes it, tips, and we have a net violation on number 13 for the Bulldogs. That'd be Lease. Jessica Tubner back to serve. Tubner serve goes to the libero number 3. Monroe out here to Lease. Lease to Kelsey Tubner. She goes off her arms and way up and almost made a basket on the sideline. So Nordmark back to serve to Hagler. Hagler to Laturnus. Up back to Hagler. Hagler tips it. It hits the out of bounds pole on the net and is considered out of bounds. Scores 1-3. That serve is in for an ace. By Nordmark. Bridget Nordmark. Nordmark to Shervy, the libero, up to Laturnus. Laturnus to Helene. Helene tips the ball over to Gilbert. Gilbert out to Monroe. Monroe sets Gilbert. Strong block. Hagler and Helene block Mary Jo Gilbert. And it comes down on the Bulldog side. So Allie Heiser now back to serve. Heiser to Robert. Up to Monroe. Monroe to Lease. Lease tipped by Hagler. Helene. Laturnus. Just Kelsey Tubner, she tips it to the back row off the arm of Robert, over by Lease. Emily Laturnus to Helene. Helene to Hagler. Hagler tips it into the corner in the front row, and Robert couldn't quite dig that out. Good placement by Hagler. Allie Heiser back to Peterson, to Monroe. Gilbert tried to tip it, but that was blocked by Hagler. Back over to Laturnus by Monroe. Helene to Hagler. Hagler with a strong, hard kill. Hagler with a beautiful set from Helene. Really set that one down. There's a service ace by Allie Heiser. That ball bounced off the floor and right into the face of Lauren Peterson. Heisler, Peterson, over the net to Tubner, to Monroe, to Lease. Lease to Gilbert. Gilbert sends it back to the back row and out of bounds. Mary Jo Gilbert hitting that one a little hard. Allie Heiser to Robert, up to Monroe. Monroe back sets to Lease. Lease to Helene. Helene to Laturnus. Laturnus to Hagler. She tips it, but is blocked. Allie Heiser digs it out. Hagler. Here comes Kelsey Tubner with the kill. And it's tipped by Monroe. Helene. Hagler. Again, a hard, strong serve. Right off Bridget Nordmark's arms and out of bounds. Heiser with the serve to Robert. To Monroe, out to Gilbert. She tries to pound one down herself, and she gets the kill. So Michelle Gilbert with the kill, now back to serve. Gilbert to Laturnus. Laturnus up here to Helene. Helene's going to set up Kelsey Tubner. Kelsey Tubner down, and miscommunication between Robert and Gilbert, and it falls to the floor for a kill. Shaw Helene with the serve back to Gilbert. Gilbert up to Monroe. Monroe to Lease. Lease tips it over right into the hole just past Sarah Hagler. Sarah Hagler went up for the block, and nobody got close enough to cover that one. Lease back to Jenny Swanson. Swanson to Helene. Helene to Hagler. Hagler tips way in the back row. Gilbert and Lease couldn't get back for that one. Way back in the corner. Good placement by Hagler. Now Hagler back to serve. Hagler serve goes to Gilbert. Gilbert out here to Monroe. Monroe over to Robert. Robert spikes it into the net. Hagler to Peterson to Monroe. Gilbert from the back row. Long. Excuse me, that was Nordmark that tried to set. So that spike was a little long from the back row. Monroe with the tip over to Hagler. Hagler to Helene. Helene to Kelsey Tubner. Down with the kill, right past Gilbert in the back row. So Kelsey Tubner gets a nice kill. Peterson, Monroe. Out here to Vondell. The left-hander puts it down right in front of Allie Heisler. Vondell, a 6-foot freshman. Sarah Monroe with the serve into the net. So Kelsey Tubner goes back to serve now. Tubner to Robert, up to Monroe. Monroe to Vondell. Vondell spikes it into the net. Kelsey Tubner over there to Robert. Sarah Monroe kind of cut right in front of her. She didn't see that ball very clearly. So that's a service ace for Kelsey Tubner. Tubner out to Peterson. Peterson, Monroe. Robert over to Hagler. Helene sets up Jessica Tubner. Blocked by Vondell. Dug out by Jenny Swanson. Kelsey Tubner tips it back the net to Monroe. Monroe tips it out of bounds, off her arm sideways. And we have a quick timeout by. So Kelsey Tubner after timeout hits to Peterson. Peterson to Monroe. Monroe to Robert. She spikes it into the net. Tubner back to Peterson to Monroe. Monroe over here to Nordmark, who hits it out to Kelsey Tubner. Here's Jessica Tubner with almost a kill, and they can't dig it out. Mary Jo Gilbert tried to get that dig, but it went into the net, and they couldn't get that out of the net. Kelsey Tubner, that was it, and Peterson tried to one-hand that one. Didn't work. Went up on the ceiling, come back down to the floor. Tubner now to Peterson. Peterson to Monroe. Monroe tips it back to Robert. Robert's spike is long. Nice back set, a little strong on the spike. Tubner serves into the net, so that'll be a side out at 20-8. To Jordan Robert. To Jenny Swanson, up to Michelle Helene. Over back to Allie Heiser. Allie Heiser kills it right past Peterson. Emily Laturnis back into the game for Jenny Swanson. Good placement by Tubner there. Laturnis, Robert, Monroe. Up here to Nordmark. Helene to Laturnis to Jessica Tubner. She puts it down in between Monroe and Peterson. Good set, good kill by Jessica Tubner. Back to Peterson, up to Monroe. Monroe to Mary Jo Gilbert. She goes cross court and out of bounds. Emily Laturnis to Peterson. Peterson to Monroe. Monroe back sets to Vondell. The left-hander puts it right in the middle of the floor. So the left-hander gets a kill. Vondell. Peterson back to serve. Peterson serves to Kelsey Tubner. Kelsey Tubner to Laternis, up to Michelle Helene. Michelle Helene puts it down, and the ball, oh, I almost caught that one. Ball come way high, it almost got me right here. I felt like I was at a baseball game getting a foul ball. Jessica Tubner back to serve to Peterson. Peterson hits it just short of the net. Monroe couldn't dig that out. So the first match goes to the Bearcats at 25-9. Back to Swanson. Swanson up to Michelle Helene. Michelle Helene to Allie Heiser. Was partially blocked at the net, but 4 hits didn't quite get high enough. So violation on the Bearcats, by the Bearcats. Monroe back to Hagler. Hagler up to Helene. Helene to Jenny Swanson. Jenny Swanson tries to spike that, but missed that a little bit right into the net. 4 hits again. Just timed her jump a little bit. She knew it right away. Sarah Hagler. Michelle Helene. Helene out to Allie Heiser. Allie Heiser tries to slam this one, but long up onto the stage. Monroe served to Swanson. Swanson up to Helene. Helene up here to Jessica Tubner. She's blocked hard by Allie Vondell. Allie Vondell puts it back down on the North Star Bearcat side. Oh, excuse me. That was out of bounds. Emily Laternis back to serve. Laternis back to Peterson. Peterson to Monroe. Monroe to Vondell. Vondell with a monster kill right in front of Kelsey Tubner. She's about a half step away from that one. Allie Heiser up to Emily Laternis off the net, and it kind of dribbles down. And that's served by Roberts into the net. So Jessica Tubner will serve. He'll serve back to Peterson. Peterson up to Monroe. Monroe over to Mary Jo Gilbert. She kind of bumps it across to Kelsey Tubner to Laternis. Laternis to Hagler with a monster kill. They attempted to block that one, but they couldn't quite get to it. Tubner down to Peterson to Monroe. Monroe to Gilbert. Gilbert tips it over to Laternis. Laternis to Helene. Helene to Hagler again. This time it's off the arms of Vondell and out of bounds. Sarah Monroe couldn't quite dig that back. Tubner out to Peterson. Peterson hit it over the net right for Hagler. That was a beautiful set by Peterson. Wrong team. Hagler with the kill. Jessica Tubner out to Gilbert. Gilbert over here to Monroe. Monroe goes back to Gilbert. Gilbert tips it to the back row. Jessica Tubner with Emily Laternis. Emily Laternis to Allie Heiser. Allie Heiser, Robert. Robert to Monroe. Over to Nordmark, and she goes cross court, puts it in. Allie Vondell now back to serve. Vondell to Allie Heiser. Allie Heiser to Emily Laternis. Back to Allie Heiser. Allie Heiser puts it over to Vondell. Vondell up to Gilbert. Gilbert to Lease. To Michelle Helene. Set by Laternis. Sarah Hagler with another kill right at Robert. But shoulder high, kind of went off her arms and out of bounds. So Allie Heiser brings it back 6-6. Robert over the net to Kelsey Tubner. Emily Laternis. Emily Laternis back to Tubner. She tries to tip it. It falls on the Bulldog side, and Sarah Monroe couldn't dig that out without going out of bounds with it. Allie Heiser back to Gilbert, to Monroe. Back to Gilbert again. Gilbert tries to spike hard this time. It was partially blocked by Hagler and went out of bounds. So Nordmark back to serve. Nordmark to Allie Heiser. Allie Heiser up here to Michelle Holing. Michelle Holing, Sarah Hagler. Partially blocked. Peterson, Monroe, Lease. Shervy digs that one out. Laternus. It's high and Heiser tries to get it over, but doesn't quite get her over the net. That serve went down right in front of Emily Laternus. She tried to dig that out, but that's a service ace for Nordmark. So the Bulldogs back on top again. And Nordmark sends it into the net on the serve. So Swanson comes in to play the front line. Shaholine just over the net to Nordmark. Nordmark back over here to Robert. She goes deep to Shervy. Shervy up to Holine. Holine to Sarah Hagler. She tips it to the deep corner, but out of bounds. Just out on the side, way deep in the corner. Mary Jo Gilbert back to serve now. Gilbert to Heiser. Heiser to Holine. Holine sends it up to Hagler. Hagler puts it down to Gilbert. She tried to dig that, but it went out the net. Come back down on her side. Hagler with the serve back. Well, that looked out of bounds, but she played it. Here comes Robert over to Hagler. Hagler to Holine. Holine to Tubner. Tubner off the hands of Lease and Robert, and it goes down on the floor. So Tubner with a kill. Michelle Gilbert hits it a little far. She didn't play that one right away, and Sarah Monroe couldn't get to that one. So that goes down as a service ace, I believe, to Sarah Hagler. Hagler again to Peterson. Peterson to Monroe. Monroe back sets to Lease. Lease down here to Holine. Holine to Jenny Swanson. Jenny Swanson sets up Tubner. Jessica Tubner with another kill. Good set by Swanson. The senior sets up Jessica Tubner for the kill. Sarah Hagler to Gilbert. Gilbert again. Up too close to the net. Nordmark over to Kelsey Tubner. Michelle Holine back to Tubner. Tubner sends it down and it hits Gilbert right in the foot. So a kill for Kelsey Tubner. And we got a timeout by Rolla. Now, trying to take control of this game. Hager out to Nordmark, to Monroe, to Robert. Partially blocked by Swanson, dug up by Tubner, set by Holine to Kelsey Tubner. Monroe with the set to Robert. Down to Hagler. Hagler digs that out. Michelle Holine, oh, she tried to make a nice set, but her foot went underneath the net. That's a net violation. So Vondell comes back in the game for Peterson. Lee's back to serve to Allie Heiser. Allie Heiser to Michelle Holine. Michelle Holine to Jessica Tubner. She spikes it down. It goes off. Lees gets the ball up in the air. Nordmark gets it over the net. Kelsey Tubner. Michelle Holine back to Kelsey Tubner. She goes cross court to Gilbert. Gilbert digs it up. Monroe up to Robert. Robert finds an empty spot on the other side of Hager, on the right side of Hager, and it hits the floor. She's back to serve again. This time she serves into the net. She'll come out for the libero Peterson. So Kelsey Tubner back to serve. Tubner back to Gilbert, up to Monroe. Monroe, Vondell, the left-hander, sends a cross court right in front of Kelsey Tubner. Allie Vondell gets the kill. Monroe serve. Swanson up to Helene. She back sets to Tubner. Tubner sends it down at Gilbert, and great kill there for Tubner. Good hard spike by Jessica Tubner. Emily Laternis to Gilbert. Gilbert over to Robert. Robert back to Vondel. Vondel tips it. Sarah Hagler digs that up, but right to Vondel, but Vondel hit the net on her follow through. Emily Laternis back to Peterson. Peterson knocks that up to Vondel. She was able to get to it to Laternis, to Helene. Helene to Jessica Tubner. Her kill was tipped out of bounds by Sarah Monroe. It's a good spike by Jessica Tubner off the arm of Sarah Monroe. Emily Laternis' serve this time goes into the net. Robert back to serve and long. So we got a correction in the score there. It's 19-14. Tubner, well, she kind of missed that one a little bit and went right into the net. Nice smile on her face, so she comes out of bounds. Shervy go back into the game now for Jessica Tubner. Vondel serve hits the net, dug out by Sarah Hagler. Sarah Hagler, Emily Laternis, and it goes out of bounds. Emily couldn't quite get underneath that one to get it out and toward the net. Here comes Vondel, and that serve is out of bounds hard. Heisler, Peterson to Monroe, Monroe to Nordmark. Nordmark tips it over to Laternis, Laternis to Helene. Helene sets up Hagler. Hagler tips it to the far right corner, and Robert couldn't get to that one. So Hagler placing the ball well. Mary Jo Gilbert gets the serve up to Lease, and Lease spikes her down right beside Mariah Shervy. Nordmark with the serve to Heisler. Heisler to Helene. Helene up here to Sarah Hagen. She tips it cross court again and in. So Sarah Hagler with another kill. Michelle Helene's serve this time is long. She tried for the back row deep, but went long. Allie Heiser, Mariah Shervy, up to the front row of Sarah Hagler. She bumps it over. Peterson to Monroe, Monroe to Lease. Lease spike dug out nicely by Heiser to Helene. Back to Hagler. Hagler with another monster kill. Right at Mary Jo Gilbert. Sarah Hagler to Gilbert. Gilbert to Monroe. Monroe back sets to Lease. Lease cross court. And that lands on the right side of Sarah Hagler. In. Lisa's serve goes back to Sarah Hagler. Sarah Hagler to Helene. Helene over here to Jessica Tubner. Jessica Tubner to Gilbert. Gilbert to Monroe. Monroe to Vondel. She tips it. Swanson digs that one. Michelle Helene puts it into the front. Kelsey Tubner pushes that in. This time, Vondel's spike from Robert finds its mark as Jessica Tubner tried to block that. Lisa on the serve to Heiser. Heiser to Helene. Helene to Jessica Tubner. Goes off Robert's arm and way up into the stands. Nice catch up there by the student body. So, set point. Kelsey Tubner's serve over to Peterson. Comes down right in front of the net. Sarah Monroe couldn't get to that, and the Bearcats win the second set. Bearcats lead 2-0. Turnus back to Gilbert. Gilbert up to Monroe. Monroe to Lease. Lease spikes it down and in, just inside the end line. They possibly thought that was going out of bounds. Guess we lost the ball someplace. There comes Emily with the ball. Peterson back to serve for the Bulldogs. Peterson to Heisler. Heisler up to Laturnus. Laturnus to Jessica Tubner. Jessica Tubner blocked by Vondel, but dug up by Allie Heisler, tips it across. Monroe to Robert. Kelsey Tubner digs at. Laturnus up to Allie Heisler. She tips the back row. Over to Nordmark. Sarah Monroe. Vondel's spike goes out of bounds. Left-hander tried to go cross court, but went out of bounds. Jessica Tubner to Gilbert. Over to Vondel. She tips it back and it falls in front of Kelsey Tubner. We have another substitution here for the Bearcats. Miranda Darling in the game now for Jessica Tubner. So Sarah back to Hagler. Hagler to Laturnus. Laturnus back to Hagler. Hagler cross court to Gilbert. That goes out of bounds. Allie Heisler serve this time went off the side of her hand and into the net. Robert back to serve. Emily Laturnus to Helene. Helene to Hagler. Hagler with a possible kill, but that was blocked by Vondel at the net, and it falls on the Bearcat side. So side out for the Bulldogs. Robert. Laturnus. Nice high to Helene. Helene up to Kelsey Tubner. She goes cross court, but that's blocked also by Vondel off the arm of Helene. So Vondel's had a couple of nice blocks. Darling to Helene. Over the net to Vondel, and Vondel puts it away for the kill. Mistake there, setting up Vondel. Robert back to Darling. Helene to Hagler. Hagler this time puts it away and out of bounds. Jenny Swanson now into the game for Laturnus. Well, evidently that ball was tipped. Michelle Helene to Gilbert. Gilbert to Sarah Monroe. Sarah Monroe back set to Vondel. Vondel tries to tip it, but it goes out of bounds. She kind of missed on that kill attempt. Helene back to Peterson. Peterson up to Sarah Monroe. Sarah Monroe to Nordmark. Nordmark with the tip to Kelsey Tubner. Vondel with the tip back. Swanson digs that out. Hagler now with the set from Helene. She tips that. Monroe comes back to Gilbert. That's blocked by Jen Swanson and Hagler. Tubner. Helene. Hagler. That one is blocked hard off the roof. Try to save that one, but we have 4 hits on that side. Helene, serve is out this time. Holly Vondel served to Heisler. Heisler up to Helene. To Sarah Hagler. Sarah Hagler's spike is in. Right in the corner. Line judge Sue Grandy had to jump out of the way there. And still hit her. But she called it in right in the corner. Robert up to Monroe. Monroe over here to Lease. Lease with the kill to Heisler. Heisler to Helene to Tubner to Monroe to Gilbert. She tips it right in front of Sarah Hagler. So Nordmark back to serve. Sarah Hagler. Hagler to Helene. Helene up to Jessica Tubner. Jessica Tubner to Peterson to Monroe to Lease. She tips it. Swanson digs that out. Heisler. Kelsey Tubner saves that one over to Gilbert. Gilbert to Monroe. Monroe back to Gilbert. That one goes off Michelle Helene's hands, and Jenny Swanson couldn't quite dig that out. Got too close, too low. Just barely went off Michelle Helene's arm. That serve goes over Jessica Tubner. Jessica Tubner, Helene. Helene back to Tubner and Peterson. Monroe. Nordmark makes the save. Kelsey Tubner. Helene with the dig. And it's over by Swanson. Monroe. Back sets to Lease. Lease to Hagler. To Allie Heisler. Over the net for Swanson. Swanson to Peterson. Monroe. Gilbert blocked by Tubner, but it comes back. Helene saves it. And now we got a possible tip by Kelsey Tubner that was saved by Gilbert. Gilbert over the net, back row to Hagler. Hagler, Helene. Helene to Tubner. She tips it. Gilbert tried to block it. Lisa's got it. And it goes off Michelle Helene's arm and out of bounds. Nordmark back to serve. Serve is out. We're going to side out for the Bearcats. Kelsey Tubner now serving. Goes back to Robert. Robert to Monroe. Monroe to Gilbert. Gilbert tips it. Helene digs that one out. Jenny Swanson to Tubner. Tubner down to Monroe. Monroe to Lease. Lease to Gilbert. Gilbert's spike is in. Way back by the back line. Mary Gilbert back to serve. To Swanson. Swanson to Helene. Helene to Jessica Tubner. Jessica Tubner dug out by Gilbert. Gilbert to Monroe to Lease. She punches it over to Hagler. Hagler to Helene. Helene to Allie Heisler. Allie Heisler knocks it way out of bounds. Got a little underneath that ball. Gilbert served to Swanson. Swanson to Helene. Helene to Heisler. Heisler tips it down. Nordmark dug that out and put it over, and Allie Heisler tried to tip it back but went out of bounds. This time Gilbert's serve is out of bounds. So Emily Laternis will come into the game to serve for Jenny Swanson. Laternis to the back row to Peterson. Monroe. Monroe back sets to Lease coming around. She's blocked by Tubner and Heisler. This time it's Robert. She sends it down in front of Sarah Hagler. Peterson serve back to Kelsey Tubner, up to Emily Laternis. She tried to tip it over, but Vondell was there and put it back down on the floor. So a block for Allie Vondell. Peterson back to Tubner. Tubner to Laternis. Laternis over here to Michelle Helene. She spikes it to. She tried to spike it over the net, but it didn't go on the right side of the out of bounds net. So we have a quick timeout by the Bearcats. Peterson on the serve to Heisler. Heisler to Laternis. Laternis sets up Jessica Tubner. She sends it down, dug up by Monroe. Nordmark tips it over the net to Tubner. Tubner over to Allie Heisler. And we have a catch. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that was out of bounds at the net. Peterson serves soft to Helene. Helene to Laternus. Laternus back to Helene. Helene's spike is blocked by Sarah Monroe and Vondel. Peterson to Heiser. Heiser to Laternus. Laternus over to Jessica Tudmer. Her kill off the arms of Nordmark and out of bounds. So Tubner with the kill to bring the Bearcats back the serve. Jessica will be back to serve out here to Nordmark. Nordmark to Monroe. Monroe to Ali Vondel. Ali Vondel in between Kelsey Tubner and Jessica Tubner. And Miranda Darling comes into the game for Jessica Tubner. Sarah Monroe back to serve to Ali Heiser. Ali Heiser to Michelle Helene spikes it over. Right off Nordmark's arm. Good set by Laternus to Helene. Peterson up to Monroe. Monroe cross over to Nordmark. Dug out by Kelsey Tubner, but we have a net violation on Sarah Hagler. Robert with the serve. Helene with the set to Hagler. Hagler puts it down this time with some authority. Nice kill, nice set. Jenny Swanson comes into the game for Emily Laternus. Michelle Helene served to Peterson, to Monroe. Over here to Gilbert. Gilbert spiked down. Miranda Darling almost dug that out, but it went out of bounds. Swanson to Helene. Helene. Hagler bumps it over. Monroe digs that up. Ali Heiser to Helene. Helene to Hagler. Hagler sends it down for another kill right in front of Ali Vondel. Serve to Peterson. Monroe tips it over to Heiser. Heiser to Helene. Helene to Jessica Tubner. Jessica Tubner off the arms of Michelle Gilbert. Off the arms of Mary Jo Gilbert and out of bounds. Hagler to Peterson. Peterson to Monroe. Monroe a little far back for Gilbert, but Sarah Hagler bumps it out of bounds. So Gilbert tried to go to the back row. Sarah Hagler couldn't play that one. Nordmark with a serve to Kelsey Tubner up here to Helene. Helene to Jenny Swanson. She tips it over. And in the corner, Peterson tried to swing at that with one arm and missed it. Nordmark to Monroe to Gilbert. Gilbert partially blocked at the net by Jessica Tubner, but went off her hands and out of bounds. Jessica Tubner to Michelle Helene. Michelle Helene to Ali Heiser. Ali Heiser tips it down right on the other side of Lise for the kill. So in comes Emily Laternus to serve for Jenny Swanson. Laternus back to Nordmark to Sarah Monroe. Peterson bumps it over the net to Laternus to Helene. Helene sets up Jessica Tubner. Jessica Tubner dug up by Peterson. Sarah Monroe with a nice save to Lise. Laternus to Helene. Jessica Tubner to Peterson to Sarah Monroe. Sarah Monroe over here to Robert. That was partially blocked by Jessica Tubner and Michelle Helene, but it fell just off their hands. So set point here for the Bulldogs. And that serve goes into the net by Peterson. Now the Bearcats have to keep serve. Jessica Tubner to Gilbert. Goes out of bounds. Sarah Monroe almost saved that, but it went out of bounds. Right into the crack. Tubner with the serve to Nordmark. Over to Sarah Monroe. Monroe to Robert. She kills it in. So that's the set for the Bulldogs. It's now 2-1. Peterson back to Swanson. Swanson up to Helene. Helene to Jessica Tubner. Jessica Tubner dug up by Nordmark. Over to Robert. Robert to Helene. Helene to Swanson. Swanson with the set. That's blocked at the line. Helene with another set to Allie Heiser this time. She tips it over to Nordmark. Nordmark to Sarah Monroe. She tried to tip it over, but into the net. So Emily Laternis to serve. Back to Nordmark. Nordmark to Monroe. Monroe up to Vondel. Vondel to Hagler. Hagler to Laternis. To Jessica Tubner. She puts the kill down. On Robert. Jordan Robert. Emily Laternis to Robert. Nordmark. Nordmark to Monroe, and then the set to Robert. Robert puts it away. Monroe with the serve to Heisler. Heisler gets it over the net, and just putting it back down on our side was Robert. Allie Heisler hit that one a little long. Kelsey Tubner up to Emily Laternis. Emily Laternis to Michelle Helene. She sets it over there to Robert. Robert to Monroe. Monroe to Nordmark. She just barely tipped it over and down in front of Kelsey Tubner. Sarah Hagler up to Emily Laternis. Laternis to Jessica Tubner with a monster kill. Right off Sarah Hagler's arms and out of bounds. Good spike by Tubner, and she's back to serve now. And she serves into the net. So Mariah Shervey, the libero, comes in for Tubner to play the back row. As Robert goes back to serve to Shervey. Shervey up to Laternis. Laternis sets up Sarah Hagler. Sarah Hagler partially blocked. Monroe digs that up. Vondel comes in, but that's blocked by Hagler. Right back in. Nice block by Sarah Hagler at the net. Allie Heiser with the serve to Peterson. Peterson to Vondel. Vondel back over to Peterson. Peterson dips it to Laternis. Up to Helene. Up to Hagler. Hagler kills again. Partially blocked by Robert that time. Gilbert that time at the net, but it falls to the floor right beside Robert. Allie Heiser back to Robert, up to Sarah Monroe. Sarah Monroe to Gilbert. Gilbert tries to tip it. Michelle Helene got a partial block on that, but it falls down to the floor on her side. So Miranda Lease comes into the game now for the libero. Vondel to Heisler. Heisler to Helene. Helene to Hagler. Hagler tips to the back row off Sarah Monroe's hands and out of bounds. Michelle Helene serve to Peterson to Monroe. Monroe tips it over. Allie Heiser to Helene. Helene to Hagler. And that kill is in. Nice set by Michelle Helene and a kill by Sarah Hagler. Michelle Helene now to Robert, to Monroe, to Gilbert. Gilbert sends it to Helene and off her arms and out of bounds. Nordmark serve to Allie Heiser. She digs that up. It goes over by Michelle Helene, saves that, and Hagler hits it over. Nordmark to Monroe to Lee. She tips it over to the far corner and in. Jenny Swanson couldn't quite get up to that serve by Nordmark. That was an ace. Nordmark again to Swanson. This time it goes over, and Nordmark comes up to get it. Sarah Hagler pushes it back to Peterson. Peterson to Monroe. Monroe to Gilbert. Gilbert, Helene digs that up. Swanson to Hagler. She bumps it over to Peterson. Peterson to Monroe. Monroe to Lease. Lease tips it up and down on the floor in front of Allie Heisler. This time Nordmark's serve goes into the net, so Jessica Tubner come in for Shervy. Play at the net. Sarah Hagler goes back to serve. Hagler serve over the net to Roberta. Monroe. Monroe to Gilbert. Gilbert back to Allie Heisler. Heisler to Helene. Helene to Jessica Tubner. That's off. Peterson high. Nordmark gets back there. Robert hits it out of bounds. So on the third hit, goes out of bounds. Sarah Hagler this time to Peterson. Peterson to Monroe. Monroe to Gilbert. Gilbert with a kill off Sarah Hagler's arms and out of bounds into the crowd. Mary Jo Gilbert serves to Allie Heisler, to Hagler, up to Jessica Tubner. She sends it back to Mary Jo Gilbert, caught her by surprise, and she carried the ball. Nice kill by Tubner there. Kelsey Tubner with the serve to Nordmark, to Monroe, up to Lease. Lease sends it over to Kelsey Tubner. Michelle Helene tips it over across to Nordmark. Nordmark tips it. Monroe tried to set, but Jenny Swanson tipped it across the net. Kelsey Tubner back to Nordmark. Nordmark to Monroe. Monroe back sets to Lease. Lease hits the net. It comes on her side. Kelsey Tubner back to Nordmark. Nordmark to Monroe. Over to Robert. She's blocked by Swanson and Tubner, but dug nice by Gilbert. Set now, and Tubner sends it over to Gilbert. Monroe tries to tip it to the back row, but she misplaced that and out of bounds. Kelsey Tubner again to Nordmark, to Monroe, over to Lease. Lease to Hagler. Helene, Jessica Tubner. Down off the hands of Nordmark and out of bounds, and we have a timeout now by the Bulldogs. Bearcats came back on that timeout with Kelsey Tubner serving back to Nordmark, a little long, and Jessica Tubner sends it back on her side for the kill. Another kill by Jessica Tubner. Kelsey Tubner to Gilbert, Gilbert to Monroe. Monroe across to Robert. She missed the ball and landed on her side. So the momentum definitely with the Bearcats. Tubner, Gilbert, Monroe gets it over. Jessica Tubner, Helene to Jessica Tubner, and that's blocked this time by Lease. It was actually a pretty good save by Monroe. Peterson with the serve, deep to Swanson. Swanson to Helene. Helene sets up Allie Heisler. Allie Heisler off Gilbert's arms and out of bounds. Allie Heisler with a nice cross-court kill. Turnus. Gilbert to Monroe. Monroe to Vondel. Vondel tips it to Helene. Helene to Laternis. Laternis over here to Heiser. Heiser is blocked by Vondel. Helene tipped by Jessica Tubner down. That was a good tip by Jessica Tubner. Good hustle by Emily Laternis. Monroe sets up Robert. Robert is blocked at the line, blocked at the net by Jessica Tubner. Laternis to Nordmark. Nordmark to Monroe. Monroe to Robert. Robert tries to tip it again, but Tubner got that one again. So Jessica with 2 consecutive blocks right at the net on 2 nice soft tips. Laternis back to Nordmark. Nordmark kind of went off her arms. Peterson saves it. Nordmark, she hits it this time way out of bounds. Nordmark to Monroe, back to Gilbert. Gilbert from the back row to Hagler. Hagler to Laternis. Laternis to Tubner. Tubner sends it down and Nordmark goes off her hands and up onto the stage. Jessica Tubner with a good hard kill. Emily Laternis to Peterson. Peterson to Monroe. Monroe sets Robert. Robert cross court to Kelsey Tubner to Sarah Hagler. To Allie Heiser, who pushes it over. Nordmark, Monroe, back to Gilbert. Gilbert blocked this time by Tubner. Excuse me, 4th hit. Gilbert didn't quite get it over the net. Jessica Tubner is right there though. Laternis to the back row to Gilbert, to Monroe, over to Robert. This time Hagler gets it up. Laternis, Allie Heiser partially blocked by Vondel. Vondel digs that up for Nordmark, sends it over to Hagler. Hagler to Laternis to Allie Heiser, who sends it hard over to Peterson. Goes up off the roof, hits the floor on the Bulldogs side. So the Bearcats in control here, looking for set point. Nordmark up to Monroe. Monroe over to Robert. Robert partially blocked but dug up. Kelsey Tubner. Jessica Tubner sends it over. Monroe. Vondel. Vondel to Kelsey Tubner with a dig. Allie Heiser pushed by Jessica Tubner. Nordmark. Sarah Monroe. Peterson fists it over and out of bounds. So the Bearcats win the 3rd and final game. So match set. Bearcats come out on top 3-1.